Good evening, Rebel football fans, and welcome to the third round playoff edition of Rebel Wrap Up. I'm your host, Tim Towle, here with Coach Cheatham, Coach Thigpen, Team FYN Sports Director Jake West. BKP is going to probably join us here as well. Big show. Fannin County coming off a 21-14 second round win over Heard County in the second round of the state playoffs. The Rebels will host Fitzgerald, the number one team in the state, this Friday night in Blue Ridge. Both teams are one seed. Last Wednesday, the Rebels were on the positive end of a coin flip that won the home field advantage for us this Friday night. Coach Cheatham, another win that it was fun. It was fun.
Sir.
It was a lot of fun. Guys never quit. Battled through so much adversity. Just your initial thoughts on the win last Friday night against Heard County.
Yeah, we did, and I think that's the MO of this football team is bend but don't break, never give up, keep advancing forward, and they're just so special. We had a quarterback that battled through an injury and continued to play. We had a receiver that was battling through injuries. We had guys that were tired and beat up because really. Over the past 2 weeks, you've been in a big heavyweight fight each week.
Yeah.
I'm just really proud of our kids for the resiliency, the battle, the way that they handle themselves when there's adversity. I'm proud of our coaching staff. There was a ton of adjustments made in both games at halftime, and our defensive staff and our offensive staff did a tremendous job coming out in the second half when it was 7-7 and taking advantage of what they had given us in the first half. And, I can't tell you how wonderful it is to have these six guys in 7 with Ryan and Jeremy's 8, our trainer. But just how blessed I am to be with Chris and Jeff and Adam and Chuck and Alan, Noah, and all those guys that I mentioned before. It's just very, very, I'm very humbled and blessed.
Just the fourth ever career playoff win in school history last Friday night in Blue Ridge. Coach Thigpen, the same question. What was your initial thoughts after the win Friday night?
You're really excited, but at the same time, not knowing how Luke was going to be, I just didn't know. It was almost kind of a
Bittersweet.
Yeah, it was very, very bittersweet to know. I was thinking about it today. To some capacity, I've coached in 59 ball games here in Fannin County, and Luke's been my quarterback in 53 of them. And so to walk off and really kind of not know how he was going to be, it was hard. But that kid. It was fourth, fifth play of the game. He took a shot out of bounds, rolled his ankle, and he never came out. No. Never flinched. Never,
Didn't think about it.
Never thought about it. And he said, "Coach, I probably can't run unless it's like 4th and 1." And I said, "Okay." And so we had to adjust on the fly. And Reese did a phenomenal job. Our offensive line did a phenomenal job, just like they've done all season. And Pickle, Dylan Collins said, "Just Coach, put it on us, and we'll get it there."
Boy.
And so it was good.
Dylan Collins, you said him. I remember watching Borders for Heard County come in one play, and Dylan just stood his ground. I'm so proud of that guy. So proud of the whole entire offensive line for their performance. We go into half 7-7. Talk about what you said to the guys at halftime.
What I've said all year, that we're a third quarter, we're a second half team. And I think we're the best second half team in the state of Georgia.
No doubt.
And it's 0-0 right now. You got 24 minutes left. There's no more do-overs. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do in these next 24 minutes? Because what you do in the next 24 minutes will how you will be remembered and what will define you. And there was no panic. We kind of got fired up there and right at the end of at halftime and got them in there. And when we left the locker room, I had no doubt we were going to win the football game.
Yeah, came out firing in the second half. You can watch this episode of Rebel Wrap Up as well as other episodes of Rebel Wrap Up live on demand at fyntv.com. Also check out Team FYN Sports on all social media apps, and thank you for Circuit World for sponsoring the show. Coach Thigpen, talk about what separates this team's mentality compared to other teams' mentalities. You know, I'm not saying that other teams in the past have not finished strong or came out firing, but this team just never, the moment's never too big for them. They never get down themselves. They never give up.
I think really coming out the gate against Union, against a good football team that was in the playoffs and gave Hurt a good run for their money, and just being in a battle that game and overcoming it, and being down late and coming up with a play there at the end, both offensively and defensively, really it set a tone for the year. And just the last 2 weeks of being in a big-time playoff setting, being behind in the third quarter, coming back and scoring 21 unanswered points, 14 last week. And it's something as Coach Cheatham has said all year is we didn't come this far just to make it right here, just to come this far. And I think those guys just don't want it to end. It's a group of guys that when it's on the line, they want to be in the situation to have an impact. They don't want somebody else to have to do it for them. And so they're going to find a way. Is the biggest thing I can say about them, and that's really how that group has been for a long time. They've always battled and played well, and it's a culmination of a lot of them starting for the last 3 years and being in this program for the last 3 years and believing in each other and having each other, and just caring about each other, loving each other.
I want to talk about the defense too, but two guys I want to point out that I thought really played a great game: Carson Collis and Andre Bivens. Those guys really stepped up big time Friday night, made some great plays. But just talk about the defense itself Friday night.
Well, Adam and Jeff and Chuck did a great job with the game plan, and they've done another great job this week and against Pace. But they made some great second half adjustments. We ended up putting Reese at the safety, moving Carson over to that corner. 12 was a big-time receiver, and we knew that. And Carson had four pass breakups, and Seth was able to play over the top, and we were able to get pressure. The big turnover, James were able to come off the edge. We knew they were really big, but they were having problems. They had problems blocking bodies that were moving around, and Adam called a great game as far as bodies moving, getting people open, getting pressure on that guy, making him throw a quick ball. And
Andre too, he played really well.
Well, Andre, on both sides, the touchdown, the catch that supposedly wasn't a catch, but Andre was coming up and sticking his head in there on some of that short stuff. And I thought that he is his job, kind of being that lockdown guy over on that corner. He was really, really solid.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Johnny Farmer. He had a good view on the sideline of Hurd County. He said, number 11, Andre Bevins, he jumped up and he caught that ball on the sidelines. He had 2 feet, not 1 feet. He had 2 feet.
Yeah, we got a picture.
Love you, Coach Farmer.
We got a picture of it. Coach Bubba Gibbs' class cut the picture out, and that's bang bang.
Hey,
you miss that kind of stuff, and I mean, you say what you want to, but that was a big play. Could have turned things around, but we made plays after that. You just got to keep working through the breaks.
But before we get further away from the beginning of the game, Coach Thigpen, we talked about last week how you guys have scripted plays going into the game. We talked about that kind of when you weren't here, and Coach Cheatham said that you guys' plan was to obviously come out and attack more at the beginning of the game as well as you can, and you guys won the toss, you received the ball, and I guess you wanted to go out there and kind of assert your dominance at very first. What do you think that you guys can do better in scripting those plays and getting a first drive score?
It's honestly, once his foot got hurt, my script kind of went down. But that had a lot to do with the first play that we even called. We generally come out just a very basic formation and kind of see how guys are going to line up to us, just because 9 times out of 10 is sometimes different in some way, shape, or form than what we originally thought it was. So you try to come out in something basic and just kind of see how they respond to that. But it had been a while since we kind of taken a shot right off the bat. And we thought, based on the formation that we were in and what we had ran against Pace towards the end of the game, we got in that exact same formation, and we sent Jake down the seam on just a little go route. And it was there.
It was there.
So, it's we didn't complete it, and the kid was right there, and probably would have made a tackle for about a 15 or 20 yard game. But you just look for little things like that, and it's the same thing going into to this week. We know what we've ran a lot of the last couple of games. We know what they're game planning and what they're going to prepare on, and
you got in your bag a little bit too, pulling out the halfback pass a little.
We threw that at them, and
that was big at that time. We were third and long.
Yeah.
We were either going to score or get the interference, and we got the interference. So that was.
It wasn't a bad ball thrown by Reese either.
No, it was a good ball.
No, he can chuck it a mile, man. He and his brother both can.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, can I get you to talk a little bit about, it says a lot about this team, and I can't remember the last time a Fannin team, or I even picked up an article that said 21 players and 2 coaches named to all regions 7A. First of all, congratulations, 7-2A Coach of the Year and 7-2A Assistant Coach of the Year. So congratulations to both of them.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about when you see this all region. Does this just sum it up? Look at this team. This is who we are, and this is why we're here today. Is the way these guys play. I mean, this is amazing to me. I enjoyed seeing these guys' names on this.
Well, it is. If you look at the stats that went into that meeting and the way that the committee votes, there wasn't a whole lot of doubt. There wasn't a whole lot of argument as far as Luke and Micah. Obviously, Luke with his yardage and touchdowns and things like that. Micah with his tackles, and then you go on down the line in the first team all region. But yeah, I mean, it's just a joy to see where we were 3 years ago, and we had some great kids at that time. The Mason Rhodes of Fannin County, and
absolutely.
Last year the Will Mosleys and the Jackson Weeks and things like that. But this group has really stepped up, and they've become very mature because they have played in those big situations. There's nothing, you can't substitute any type of practice for grass time and game time. And these guys have played in a lot of quarters.
She's giving us the wrap up. Before you go to wrap up, Emily, on that note, I want to give a shout out to every one of those Fannin Rebels listed in the all region announcement. But Luke Holloway, 7-2A Region Player of the Year. Way to go, Luke. And also Defensive Player of the Year, 7-2A, Micah O'Neill. Give a shout out, and I know you got to go to break now.
All right, we'll go to break. Stick around for part 2. As we'll dive in more, we'll announce everybody's name on the all-region teams and preview Fitzgerald.
At Ingalls, we know that school is a little different this year, with virtual learning and working from home. But we have continued to donate to our Tools for Schools program, just like always. And all our participating schools will have those funds waiting for them when the bell rings this fall.
Okay, who can tell me the difference between molarity and molality?
In the meantime, Ingalls has everything you need to make this school year a little easier. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. At Ingalls, we know that school is a little different this year, with virtual learning and working from home. But we have continued to donate to our Tools for Schools program, just like always. And all our participating schools will have those funds waiting for them when the bell rings this fall.
Okay, who can tell me the difference between molarity and molality?
In the meantime, Ingalls has everything you need to make this school year a little easier. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Welcome back to part 2 of Rebel Wrap Up. I'm your host, Tim Tao. Thank you to Circuit World for sponsoring the show tonight. You can catch this episode of Rebel Wrap Up as well as other episodes of Rebel Wrap Up live on demand at fyntv.com. And be sure to check out all of Team FYN Sports on all social media platforms. BKP just mentioned the all-region team. We'll name those players in just a few moments. But special day today is Georgia High School Daily paid us a visit this morning, and we were awarded the team of the week in the state of Georgia. Out of 400-plus teams, the Fannin County Rebels were awarded the Georgia High School Team of the Week. Georgia High School Daily's Ted Langford came and spoke. It was a good ceremony. I thought they all done a very good job.
Very good, very professional. Those guys do a tremendous job with high school athletics, whether it be in any sport. Big honor that doesn't happen very often. To be recognized as the state team of the week out of all the teams that could possibly be named. And I want to say thank you to them for what they did, coming up and recognizing our kids, recognizing our coaches, our admin, all those people. It was, just something that was really, really special for us today.
Great to see Dr. Gwatney there.
Yes, everybody was there.
All the administration there as well. There's not many. I'm sure Raven's been named. I remember Raven being named the team of the week. I think Pickens was named the team of the week when Coach Parker was there. So it's kind of rare a mountain school gets the Georgia High School team of the week, and that's a testament to our guys and our program. But just going back to the all-region team, let's give these guys a shout out. Luke Holloway, Player of the Year, Defense Player of the Year, Micah O'Neill, First team offense, Jalen Ingram, Cutter Hyde, Seth Reese, Mason Bundy, Ricardo Arianes. What a game he had Friday. We didn't talk about him. Shame on us for not mentioning him.
Yeah, well, we said going into the region meeting Sundays that they've got to vote that guy back because he's a tremendous lineman.
What a game he played. First team defense, Dalton Ross, Casey Owensby, Carson Collins, McKay Turner. Second team offense was Dylan Collins, Pickle, Andre Bivens. Second team defense, Logan Long, made a great play in the backfield. Andrew Waldrop, James Mercer, Jake Sands. Jake Sands, a guy I love watching him play. He's blocked his tail off. Again, another guy that we don't call his name out enough. That had a great season. An honorable mention, Chris Scott, Braden Foster, Caleb Postel, and our kicker, Jack Katner. Jack kicked 3 extra points in about a span of 1 minute Friday night.
He was, I think Jack's like 41 or 43, and one of them was tipped, and one of them didn't even get on the tee. So that guy has done a great job for us.
No doubt. Kicked a 30-yard extra point. We had 3 penalties on us there on the play, and 2 penalties, and Jack nailed all 3 extra points there. I think that tied us at 7 at the time. So a great job, all them guys being named all region team. Definitely a school record for most members on the team. I'm not sure how many the 1995 team had all region, but I bet they didn't have 21. So just a great honor.
You're really going for it, ain't you, Tim?
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just saying. I don't. That's 21 players. That's almost unheard of.
You just calling out the 95 team.
No, I'm not calling out the 95. I have a great respect for the 1995 team. Matt Queen, quarterback, he's probably watching. I love him to death.
Tim probably wasn't even born.
I was barely born.
I didn't say that, Tim. No.
I was barely born. I have all the respect in the world for the 1995 team. Got some good friends on that team. Fitzgerald coming into town Friday. Number 1 team in the state of Georgia. They obviously got to come here, which is a big advantage.
Sure.
It's going to be cold. They're not used to playing in cold weather, so that's definitely one advantage. But talk about their team and give the audience kind of what to watch for.
Tremendously athletic at every position on the field. They do a good job offensively and defensively. They coach very well. You're not number 1 in the state in AA ball and probably number 8 overall in the entire state for a reason. For no reason. They are a very good football team. They have a receiver that it's number 3. Well, he's receiver. He plays quarterback. He plays running back. He plays at corner. And he is just he's a highlight reel every time you turn on film. Big physical up front. They have a lot of speed, team speed, but it's definitely a winnable football game.
No doubt.
We've got to play like I always say at the beginning of the game. The team that makes few mistakes win the football game, and we can't drop it. We can't have negative plays. We can't get behind the sticks. We've got to stay on schedule on offense. We've got to get them off the field and get the ball back in our hands. So, there's going to be some deals with clock management and things like that, some personnel packages that we're looking at, and I think we're going to be fine.
Coach Thigpen, I know you're kind of from that area down there in South Georgia. Talk about South Georgia football means a lot to people, much like it does in North Georgia. But just kind of talk about the area down there for people that may not know the Fitzgerald area.
I mean, it's when you're down there and you hear teams like Clinch County, or you hear Charlton County or Irwin County. Fitzgerald is one of those teams. I mean, that everybody knows, and they're good at most every sport that they play down there. One of the Ben Hill County, one of the craziest things, they just have like random chickens just walking all over, like downtown. They're just all over the place. So you gotta look out for the chickens running across the road. But I mean, it's a great community. I expect them to travel really well up here. I know it's a long 5.5, 6 hour ride for them, but they're going to have fans here, and they're going to come in and expect to win. Coach Pruitt he's a young guy, but he is a very good offensive coach and a very good head football coach.
Yeah.
So they're going, like Coach mentioned earlier, they're not number 1 for just no reason.
I believe his dad was a coach there too at one point.
Are they a pretty historic program? I mean, they have a history of winning.
It sure is. Yeah.
I think they've only got one state championship, maybe.
We played them in 2012 when I was at Jefferson, and it was a war.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, they've had tremendous success.
I want to say they've made the playoffs the last 20 years in a row.
That's probably right.
In a row. Not 20 total playoff appearances, 20 in a row.
Yeah.
Definitely a good football program. You guys, we got something else we want to get to, but I want you guys specifically to talk about how important it is if you can make it safely to come to the game Friday night. And I know that the team feeds off the energy. You guys feed off the energy from the crowd.
Absolutely.
Coach Stickman, you tweeted, I know Friday, urging we need a big crowd. And it's very important that we do have the home field advantage and a 12th man. It's been crucial the last 2 weeks.
There's no doubt the energy, it just compounds itself. Once it gets started, it starts rolling. The excitement begins, and when you have good close football games, when you have good opponents in, and the atmosphere is rocking, I mean, that's high school football. So the more people we get in those stands, and the louder it can be, and it becomes kind of a game inside a game. Are we going to bring more than them? Are we going to be louder than them? How are we going to react? And it's fun.
I enjoy third downs. I enjoy the crowd getting into it on third
sir.
down. It's special time when our defense makes that stop. Before we got here, just as we were walking in, we got the news. Gilmer County head football coach Kevin Saunders has resigned. Was there at Gilmer for 2 years. Coach, I know you've talked with Coach Saunders a little bit, but just talk about that briefly. Coach Saunders stepping down.
I don't know all the details. Obviously, Kevin's a heck of a football coach, and I think probably he made the best decision for his family, and I can't fault him for that. I've done the same in certain situations. So obviously we wish him the best. He's done some great things, and there's a reason behind everything, and I think that he'll be successful wherever he goes, and I always wish him the best. And I've always had great conversations and things like that. So I don't know. Like you said, it's new news or whatever, but I wish Kevin and his family the very best, and I think he'll land on his feet, and he'll end up at a good program doing great things.
Absolutely. Guys, got anything you want to add before we close the show?
Nothing, just Coach, I want to tell you, I look forward to Friday night. I have absolutely enjoyed the sideline, enjoyed watching these young men, and when you talk about mature, and I know you came out last week 7-7, and then again down 14-7, and a couple injuries, guys moving a little slow, but the team came together, put it on the scoreboard, and when the buzzer went off, you got the W. And I mean, it just says a lot. I enjoy it. I just want to tell you that.
We're happy for you to be down there. I know it gets kind of crazy down there. You got to watch out.
I get a little cold, Coach.
I'll be honest with you.
I know you're not real concerned about me, but I get a little cold.
Well, I got a little cold in that first half. I think there was some sleet coming down at one point.
I think you're right.
And then the second half, I put my jacket on, and the official said, I guess you didn't keep that jacket on very long, did you? And I said, no, I got a little warm. So I still hadn't found my jacket yet.
I can't wait to see you on the sideline Friday night, Coach.
It's an honor.
We didn't have the best weather last week. It kind of hurt our crowd a little bit. This week, sunny. And then it's going to be cloudy. There's no chance of rain. If you can make it, come support these guys. Be the 12th man. Be loud on third down. Cheer our boys on. They love the support. We all love the support. It's been a special season. We hope to be back next week.
Show must go on.
The show must go on. If we win, we'll be back next week and talk about the Final Four against Jefferson County or Bremen. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Go Rebels.
Hey, Tim, before you close, we're going to take a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, folks. Brief commercial break. We'll get the coaches out of here, and we're going to come back for a couple minutes. And Jake, Tim, myself, we're going to get in here, and we may have some comments about other teams or whatever, Coach. We got to get you guys out of here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You've been working hard. We got to get you out of here.
At Ingalls, we know that school is a little different this year, with virtual learning and working from home. But we have continued to donate to our Tools for Schools program, just like always. And all our participating schools will have those funds waiting for them when the bell rings this fall.
Okay, who can tell me the difference between molarity and molality?
In the meantime, Ingalls has everything you need to make this school year a little easier. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. At Ingalls, we know that school is a little different this year, with virtual learning and working from home, but we have continued to donate to our Tools for Schools program, just like always. And all our participating schools will have those funds waiting for them when the bell rings this fall.
Okay, who can tell me the difference between molarity and molality?
In the meantime, Ingalls has everything you need to make this school year a little easier. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host BKP. This is Team FYN Sports, and it's time for Playbook. And I will tell you something. I really enjoy. Thanks for letting me be here, because they call me up and they say, "Are you going to be there tonight?" And I said, "Really? You going to ask me?" I mean, I know throughout the season this is Tim Tal and Jake West, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Director of Team FYN Sports. I know I haven't been here all year, and I don't want to come in. Take over. I just feel, I don't want to do that, but you know me. I had to get in these games, and I had to get into.
You had a lot to the show, BK.
I had to get into the discussion, man. I couldn't stay away. Okay, so Jake, this is the playbook. We're going to take a couple minutes here. FYNTV.com. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Jake, Tim, wherever you want to start, because we just had Coach Thigpen and Coach Cheatham, and again, another shout out to those two guys. 7-2A Coach of the Year, Chad Cheatham, 7-2A Assistant Coach of the Year. Thigpen, both of them here on the couch with us.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We were talking to them earlier. Where you want to start? You want to start with that matchup Friday night with Fannin? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Tim.
we can talk about that. Fitzgerald coming to town. The Purple Hurricanes from Fitzgerald, ranked number 1 in the state. I hope history don't repeat itself. And you say, why is that? Well, 1995, the Fannin County Rebels made the quarterfinals. We've been comparing the 1995 and the 2020 teams the last 3 weeks. In 1995, the Rebels played the Purple Hurricanes from Cartersville. Cartersville won 31-12. So obviously, we hope history don't repeat itself, and the Rebels can actually beat the Purple Hurricanes of Fitzgerald this week. They're ranked number 1 in the state. They're a very good football team. They're 11-0. An historic program. They made the playoffs the last 20 years. So a lot of things. There's just a few things to know about the program. Don't know a lot about their players. I'm not saying we go to Max Preps for stats on every team, but from South Georgia, we just don't know a lot about them. You know, if Lumpkin County didn't post their stats, we could call and ask somebody, hey, who I need to watch out for. We don't really have
exactly.
that. We really don't have that luxury.
But Fitzgerald, I guess, in a way to sum it up, they're the real deal.
No doubt.
I mean, they're the real deal.
No doubt.
20 straight years making playoffs, whether it's first round or.
We do know, of course, Lightsey, the EJ Lightsey.
Yes.
That's one name that I'm sure you'll hear.
Yes. Number 8
on Friday night. He's a 6'2", 220.
Yeah, middle linebacker,
Yeah.
defensive end type's got a South Carolina, Tennessee, and I believe he's got a Georgia offer as well.
Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State. So they're a good football team. They're ranked number 1 in the dang state. So I mean, obviously they're a good football
2A,
team.
number 1 in the state. But let's just say this, okay? One, Fannin has home field advantage because we're at the point where you flip a coin.
Yes.
So Fannin won the coin flip, so they're traveling here 5 hours or something like that,
Yes.
right? So they got a 5-hour drive. That's number 1. So you got home field advantage, whether it's going to gives Fannin 7 or 3, whatever it is. So you got that. And I think the best thing in the last 2 weeks is Fannin has played 2, not just good, I think very good football teams.
What Coach Cheatham said, heavyweights.
Exactly. And in those 2 games, they got a lot of different looks. Both of those teams brought something different. One strong running game, one a little stronger in defense, one a little stronger passing, whatever. But Fannin in the last 2 weeks has their guys have got a good look,
No doubt.
at 2 solid teams. And I guess you can't ask for any more than that. If you're coaching and you're in the locker room, you know, and you look at your kids and say you're getting ready to play a good football team, you can go to the locker room and say you're getting ready to play a good football team for the 3rd week in a row, and you won the first 2. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking
Go
about how good those 2 football teams Fannin played in the first
Pace
and second
Academy
round.
and Hurd.
I don't want to get started down something where we can't get back from, but just reading the Georgia 2A message boards and Georgia Prep Sports, stuff like that. A lot from the Fitzgerald side that I'm hearing from over there is that Fannin has not played anybody. That these 2 programs that Fannin played in the first and second round were down. They're historically good programs, but they were down, and they're not the same as they used to be. So I think that once again, headed into the 3rd round, Fannin is going into a game where they still don't have the respect, even as an undefeated team, that they should.
And no disrespect to teams in the past, but this playing the number 1 team in the state doesn't bother this team. It's just another game.
I'm so glad you said that, because what he just said, I'm thinking, you know, if I'm reading that and I'm the Fannin players and I'm reading the message boards, come in our house and disrespect us in our house, because you know, we had that 2 weeks in a row. We haven't been looked at as you know, the up here. So what are you expecting Friday night, Tim?
I'm expecting a good football game. I mean, you got 2 of the best teams in the state. You got number 1 versus number 7. Fannin ranked as high as 6 in one poll, but number 7 in most of the polls. I think it's the only matchup between 2 top 10 teams in AA. So you're going to see another great football game. We've had 2 great football games, 2 instant classics the past two Friday nights in Blue Ridge. You're going to see another one this week. It's going to come down to who makes the less turnovers, who makes the less mistakes. I think it's going to win the football game.
I think we've trended in this direction, even from the beginning of the year, funneling down into becoming more of a rushing football team. And I think Friday night, that's definitely what we're going to see. We're going to see Fitzgerald, known for running the football, and Fannin, with the injuries they've suffered, they're going to have to run the football.
Yep.
So I think we're going to see two teams just try to run it down the other's throat, and it's going to come down to line play and holding on to the football.
Yes.
So line play, holding on to the football. I tell you what I'd like to see, and I know, Coach, and you talked about scripting those early plays. I will say, Fannin scripting those early plays, I'm impressed on the adjustments they're making out of them, because they are getting good looks, and they're seeing what hole, they're seeing what guy moves left, right. They're doing very well at taking that script and making the adjustments and then playing some pretty hard-nosed football. But I'd like to go into halftime just one more than 7.
Yeah, and I'm sure the coaches would too.
One more than 7. Maybe go in there 14.
All of every fan of Rebel Nation would too. I just want to give another shout out to this Fannin County coaching staff.
Absolutely.
My goodness gracious, they've got. If there was a coaches, I know Coach Cheatham and Thigpen have got awards, and that's great. Coach Turner, defense coordinator, Coach Collins, who works for the offensive line, Coach Kuna with the secondary, Coach Patterson with the defensive line, Coach Noah O'Neill with linebackers and receivers, Coach Ryan Holloway is pretty much the director of operations. He does it all. Jeremy King, the athletic trainer.
Coach Ryan Holloway, also want to give him a shout out because the man is very good at the pullback.
Well, he is, don't he?
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah, he's very good at the pull. If they start out
all
a
region
too far,
pullback coach, no doubt.
Yeah, all region.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
They start out. Get back here. Get back
he's
here.
Great. Yeah. He's great.
And you got to have that guy on
Jake,
the sideline.
you need to film that. We need to get some.
Yeah, well, it's really not funny because seriously, you get some coaches get wound up, especially a head coach, and a yellow flag could go up in the air. So
we've seen a sideline warning, I think. In the past past two playoff games.
And we all love Cheatham. We know he's been known to get on the
field. On that coaching note, I know you're up in the press box, but right there on the sideline, if you walk with them, because I've been staying within 10 feet of them, and they're not missing on a cylinder, not a one. I mean, every one of these guys, they're coaching their guys up. They come off, they're coaching their guys up. And when I say getting in their face, it's not a bad way. I mean, they got their guys over there, and they're getting in their face and coaching them up. And I'm really enjoying that.
It's such a great coaching staff. I am so blessed to know all these guys. And be friends with most of them, and they're such a great staff, and it's just crazy that good things are happening in Fannin County. It's been a long time since we've been this far, and it's about time. But we're very blessed people here for sure.
Well, I want to before we go, I know we're just short time. Both of you guys, what other games are you looking at around the state that you have interest in? We are in playoff season here, and we're getting down. That was. We're in Elite 8, or
we are in the Elite 8.
Elite 8, okay.
And just of note, they had the coin flip today in Thomaston. The top team in the bracket won the coin flip again. So if Fannin County does defeat Fitzgerald, we will host again in the semifinals. Just of note.
That's all right. What else do we have looking at around the state? Which other teams or games you guys want to talk about? Or
Raven, obviously.
Raven playing Bleckley County. 2 5-star prospects here in this football game. You got 2 of the best players in the country in Tiger, Georgia. You got Gunnar Stockton, quarterback for Raven, and Amarius Mims, left tackle for Bleckley County, who's committed to Georgia. Two of the best players in the country playing this football game just about an hour and 10 minutes up the road there in Tiger, Georgia. Bleckley coming in as a 4 seed, upset the 1 seed Vidalia in the first round, got another win last week. So I think they're the only 4 seed remaining in the whole playoffs, but they're not your normal 4 seed. They had several injuries in the midway to the end of the season, and they've really starting to hit their stride just like they did at the first of the year. So they're obviously going to have to play their best game against Gunner Stockton and the J-Bo Shaw-led Raven Tigers, but anything can happen. That's really the only other game in our area.
Just for a minute, let's talk down. You mentioned the coin flip. Obviously, if Fannin wins, they'll be at home. If Fitzgerald wins, they'll be the higher seed. Either way, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Jefferson County's a 1.
Oh, okay.
Jefferson County, I believe, is a 1.
So yeah, let's talk about
the winner will host. The winner will.
Yeah.
The winner of this game will host a Final Four matchup.
Let's talk about who either Fannin or Fitzgerald will be seeing in this next game. It's Jefferson and Bremen.
Yeah, Bremen coming out of that same region with Heard County. They were the 3 seed, so they've really got hot. But they were a good football team in the regular season. They playing with Harrelson, Temple. Callaway.
They killed a South Atlanta team. Last week.
Beat them 42-6.
Yeah.
Who was the 1 seed out of Region 6, which we all know they really weren't the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. They were the 4 seed, but due to the COVID counting games, they ended up with the 1 seed in their first ever region championship in school history. Crazy to think there. Bremen with a very impressive win.
Well, that's all the games we have around. Let's stick to more local news, I guess, and go back to what we were talking about on the Fannin show. What Coach Cheatham commented on with Gilmer County's head coach stepping away from the program today.
Kevin Saunders.
Saunders.
I mean, you got a final thought on anything? I mean, because I'll be glad to close that subject right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Gilmer, let me say this, okay? And Tim knows this, and I know you've been with us for a while now, Jake. You reported over in Murphy for several years on and off before you became the director, and we're really proud here at Team F1 Sports to have Jake West as the director of Team F1 Sports. As you know, when you came on board, and not putting you on the spot, and we talked, you know Team F1 Sports, our commitment is to these athletes in a positive way, covering them, and you know our commitment to each and every one of these kids, regardless the uniform they put on.
Highlighting and promoting athletes.
In a positive way, because Team FYN Sports, I mean, we this year we had to curtail back off just a little bit because of COVID on how many sports writers we could put out. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we got somebody on the sideline over Lumpkin and Dawson and White, and it's just all about these young people in our coverage area.
I mean, even athletic director at Towns County, he's been welcoming. He's letting us get coverage over there, too. So.
Exactly. Wherever
people
we're at.
Are nice as well.
And, yeah, I'm getting there. I knew I was wondering if he was going to make it through this.
Man.
But no, when we started, and I want to give just a brief history, and I'll make it quick. But when we started FYN and Team FYN Sports, our core group was Pickens, Gilmer, and Fannin. And we had a great, and this goes back to Jim Pavo days and before Jim Pavo days. But we had a great sideline reporter at Fannin. We always covered Fannin. We were dedicated to him. We had a great sideline reporter at Pickens and Jordan Hill before RJ. And I covered Gilmer. When we first started the company, my assignment was Gilmer. And I tell you what, I never miss a game. I love those young men. And I want to look at the camera and say, Gilmer County, I want to apologize for last season and this season that here at Team FYN Sports, you may feel neglected. You may feel that, we were not showing your players and your team the coverage that Fannin gets and Pickens gets and some other areas. But I have to be candid. I wish Coach Saunders well, but Coach Saunders was not real keen on Team FYN Sports covering the Bobcats. Okay, I'll be candid with you. So I'm not going to go into great detail. You know down there, your coach that you've had for 2 years. I want to make that recommitment to the Bobcats that we hope and pray that you really reach in and find that coach for the talent. You know what? Really, I don't. I got a word to use the word anger, because what angers me is Gilmer's got some talented kids. They got some talented kids. They got some great players in the program, and they should be a solid football team in their region. And I told you this, and I don't care to say it in public. We did the Super Bowl. We did the 11-year-old Gilmer team. I'm not going to name any of them because I don't want to leave them out. And you know, I know all these young people. I watched these kids like 4 years old. Okay. What's the one Callahan kid? Not Bubba. AJ. I remember when AJ was like 3 and he would come in the gym and two-handed dribble. That's how long that guy's been dribbling a basketball. But anyhow, I've watched them play together since 5- and 6-year-old teams, and I was watching them, Gilmer 11-year-olds, and I said, this is one powerhouse of a team that's getting ready to play on Friday nights, okay? Look, I hope you get a good coach. We support you in anything you do. Coach Saunders, I wish you well. I think it's pretty clear you don't like me, I don't like you, but, you know, we'll move on. The world didn't end, okay? So, and that's all right. I'm not bad-mouthing or anything, you know. So, some people don't like you. Do you think I get up in the morning and think everybody likes me? No. All right? Same thing with Coach Saunders. Well, you know. But anyhow, not to dwell on anything. Coach, we wish you well wherever you may go.
I'm ready to see the Bobcats and what they will
exactly.
What they will be.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the next chapter because I want to give you something. You know, Coach Tank, and not going anywhere. Okay, I promise, because people start comparing things. Okay, but let me just bring this up. Nick Chubb, which we all loved watching Nick Chubb through high school, Cedartown, right?
Yeah, I still love
Cedartown.
I watched him Sunday dominate the Titans.
Right, Cedartown, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's 4-year high school career, 4 years, was only held to under 100 yards one time. And I think it's 89 yards. And the Gilmer Bobcats defense owns that.
That was a night at Huff Mosley.
Huh? Huff Mosley, it was. You remember it, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
And he did not get past his 100 yards. Bobcat fans, Team FYN Sports, we can't wait, okay? Any way we could support the team, FYNTV.com always will do a show again. You did not get left out of the show. I can't elaborate. But you see a show in Fannin, you see a show in other places. You've asked me, some of you, how come we don't have a show in Gilmer? Well, guess what? That's yesterday. We will get your players a show back. We will get on the sideline. You will have our support 100%. Can't wait, because Team F1 Sports is always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way. And we're making that commitment together, right, Jake?
That's right.
That's right. Okay, I'm out. You got any final thoughts?
I'm just excited for Friday night. I know we're talking about Gilmer County, but big playoff game in Blue Ridge. Definitely urge the whole area, if you want to come watch some football, good place Friday night. Going to be a good football game. Good? We're good? Playbook. Hey, you have antacids? Because are you up there are you in the press box chewing antacids? Like, oh my God, are you? It's nerve wracking up there sometimes. All right, so look for us on the sideline. Look for Jake and I. We do a little pregame on Team F1 Sports Facebook page. Thank you, Circuit World. Merry Christmas. Oh, by the way, it is Christmas, and they've got TVs, they got computers, they got Xboxes, they got video games. Got couches. You name it. We're out. See you Friday night.